Been working pretty hard today. For the second day in a row, I've turned out 5 wings in a day. So we got this guy. Pretty simple design, designed for the beginner. Very straightforward, designed to be very easy to build. As I pick them up, you'll see that they go from facing this way to facing that way. New one. Very straightforward. Going to fly very well as a basic wing that's going to teach you fighter combat type tactics. If you want to fly a fighter plane, that'll be a good place to start. For comparison, here's the P-51. You can see it's got a wider tip, and those things might not seem to make a difference, but they do, most assuredly. It's also slightly bigger in the length dimension, so it's got a little bit more lift. But not much, and they are very similar, as you can see in profile. But I have different sizes of P-51, guys. So let's look at a different one, and we see that it's pretty much the same. There is an even bigger difference between these two. This is the more scale one. This is the one that'll be on my personal aircraft. So, I wanted scale wings. Not so much. These are designed so that they're easy to build, and you guys could have a wing that's designed to train you for a fighter plane without being too brutal. This is a great example. This one would be kind of brutal. But when coupled with, say, a swept, thin biplane wing, it could be pretty sweet. Went out pretty aggressively over the other. These two together might just have a very cool kind of look in the air and work together really, really well. And so this, whether it's set back like this, or like this, or like this, any which way you cut this, this would actually fly really nice. These opposing angles work well together in a biplane, guys. So this is actually going to be a sick biplane. I'm not designing a lot of biplanes right now, but I like this one, and I decided to go with it. And then we got this guy. Just kind of an exercise I was doing, but I like it, and I actually like it because, once again, it's one of these wings where you could flip it one way and have it forward swept with quite large ailerons, which is for the expert level, or you could have it slightly backward swept, but only mildly, which is better for beginner and intermediate, with smaller ailerons. And this is it built into the design automatically so that you have an easier flying experience. Anyway, that's it for today from RXD. I thought I'd give you guys a quick update. I'm going to start doing these every day? No, but there are days when I create a lot. So I thought I'd walk you through the process today. And it hasn't taken me long. I've been up here for maybe 2.5, 3 hours. Spent half an hour of that doing other things and a bit of time designing and coming up with what I want in my head. This is going to be a very tame trainer wing, designed to kind of replicate a Cub or something very similar to that. This one, same type of deal, only for the more aggressive pilot who wants it a little swept back, a little swept forward. This is a great wing to train somebody for a P-51. Good biplane wing, but it's wide. It's aggressive and fast for a biplane wing. Compare it to my other biplane wings, and you may find that it's bigger a little bit in terms of its dimensions. It is. It's in fact quite a bit longer. But that's just one of those things. It's also slimmer, having less total wing area, which gives it a good amount of lift but lower resistance. This is actually going to be a very quick little biplane. Might even end up being my fastest one. And I like where the ailerons are set. This will be bottom ailerons only, and that's all it'll need. And the top wing will sit about here, I'm guessing, or right around here, somewhere in that mark of the woods, but it's going to be sick either way. In the end, you know, it's really only limited by your creativity, you might think, but there's also the laws of physics, and they have to be adhered to. But as long as you do, there's lots of leeway, and you guys can do just about anything you want. I've spent about a minute on each of these wings now, and I think that that's about it. 2 of these are reversible, you might think, but technically this one is also reversible. And you could theoretically fly this one in either direction and it would be just fine. This one, not so much. It's given a notch to the back of the wing just to show you where the back of the wing is. With rounded tips and squared off ends, it'll fly very smooth. This will be the lowest roll rate of any of these, as you can guess. This one right here will be the highest roll rate. Anybody can't guess why needs to go back and start watching my video series from scratch. Guys, with my series, what you really want to do is look at every single video as a resource. Go back to the beginning. You want an RC aircraft? Go back to the beginning, to when I started designing the darn things and was at the beginning of the series. That'll be all the elastic powered glider stuff. When you do that, you'll find all these useful tips on how to design them and how to build them and how I'm going to make them RC and the kind of weight that you have to put them in between if you want them to fly at this wingspan. All that stuff was calculated and figured out by testing and experimentation before I started building a lineup for you guys. That's the kind of research I do here at RxD. And now I'm designing really sick indoor aircraft. Keith out.